Lesson 11-6, dividing integers, and in this lesson you learn to divide integers using models and patterns. When are you ever going to use this? Because knowing how to divide integers can help you find the mean of data with negative integers. So a radio station plans to play 15 minutes of music with no interruptions. How many 3-minute recordings can be played during this time? So again, this is an easy division problem. So to answer this question, we have to divide 15 by 3. So you can use a model. You can model this division problem using counters, and you know this when you did division, I think in second grade or third grade, or probably third grade and fourth grade. So whatever. Okay, so place 15 counters on the mat to represent 15, and that's exactly what you did there. And step number 2, separate 15 counters into 3 equal size groups, and this is exactly what you did in the third and fourth grade. So you separated them into 3 equal size groups. So you end up with 3 groups of 5. So 3 groups of 5 positive counters each. 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. So the station can play 5 recordings during 15 minutes. Okay? So you can use counters to divide a negative integer by a positive integer. And let's take a look at negative 20 divided by 5. Again, place 20 negative counters on the mat to represent negative 20, and there you have it. And step number 2, separate 20 counters into 5 equal size groups. So you get those 20 counters, separate them into 5 equal size groups, and you have 5 sets of 4. So there are 5 groups of 4 negative counters each. So negative 20 divided by 5 is equal to negative 4. Okay, so you can also divide integers by working backward. For example, to find 56 divided by 7, what number times 7 equals 56? So we know that 8 times 7 equals 56. Okay, and so 56 divided by 7 can be equal to 8. So in this case, you know that the quotient is positive. Okay, so if you're looking for 56 divided by 7, we look at it as a multiplication problem. We know that 8 times 7 is equal to 56. So we simply do 56 divided by 7 will be equal to 8. And let's see how this works with example number 2. Find negative 10 divided by negative 2 using working backwards. Okay, we know for a fact that 5 times negative 2 from the last lesson is equal to negative 10. A positive times a negative will be a negative. Okay, and therefore, so we have negative 10 there, and we have negative 2. What's missing would be positive 5. So negative 10 divided by negative 2 will be a quotient, giving us a positive result. Okay, so let's look at 18 divided by negative 6. Again, we work backward. We know that negative 3 times negative 6, okay, a negative times a negative will give us a positive 18, which is that one right there. So we work backward, okay, and then now we get 18, and then we divide it by negative 6, which will actually give us negative 3. So the quotient in this case is negative. And example number 4, negative 28 divided by 7. We know for a fact that to be able to get negative 8 using 7, we have negative 4 times 7. Okay, a negative times a positive will give us a negative, which is negative 28. So we use that information to get the quotient. So we have negative 28 divided by 7. Okay, the missing number is negative 4. So the quotient is negative. Okay, so which brings us, okay, to a particular rule here, which is right here. Okay, so did you notice any patterns in examples 1 to 4? Notice that when you divide 2 positive integers or 2 negative integers, the quotient is positive. So when you divide a negative integer and a positive integer, the quotient is negative. And just like multiplying integers, okay, remember in multiplying integers, when you multiply a positive times a positive, that will give you a positive result. When you multiply a negative times a negative, that will also give you a positive result. But when you multiply a negative times a positive, that'll give you a negative result. And that's the same thing with, oh, that's an ugly line. That's the same thing as division of integers. So when you are dividing integers, okay, so when you have a positive divided by a positive, that will result in a positive integer. When you have a negative divided by a negative, that will also result in a positive integer. And when you have a negative divided by a positive, that will result in a negative integer or negative answer. Okay, so which brings us to the last example. For each lap of race, Angelila, that's a cool name, was farther behind Paloma. Angelila finished the race 12 meters behind Paloma. Not farther, farther, jeez. Let me read that again. For each lap of a race, Angelila was farther behind Paloma. Angelila finished the race 12 meters behind Paloma. Both runners ran 4 laps. On average, how many meters did Angelila fall behind? Okay, so we represent Angelila's final position with respect to Paloma as negative 12 because she was 12 meters behind Paloma. So you need to find negative 12 divided by 4. So from what we learned, this is a negative divided by a positive. So a negative divided by a positive should result in a negative answer. So Angelila lost 3 meters per lap. Okay? And the secret word for this particular lesson is oral. Secret word is oral, as in by mouth. Okay? And that is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, this is an interesting did you know tidbit. Male sprinter can run 22 miles an hour. African elephant is actually faster than a male sprinter, and a cheetah, of course, is the fastest of all land animals. Thank you for watching.